Usherati.
Usherati. 23 minutes past 9.
Najua munaipenda.
You're on Kiss FM, Kenya's #1 hit music station. Of course wanaipenda. I mean, where would he get the content from? Si unatonga content kutoka wa Kenya?
Nilifikiria tu hiyo storage ya wasa wanapenda hiyo. Wanajua tu.
All right, if you're just tuning in, of course, we are joined by Exray, who is dropping a brand new song, which came out last week, but we're going to be talking about it. Exray, welcome to Morning Kiss.
Thank you, manze.
Hebu nikuulize, Taniua ilitoka wapi?
Rieng ilikuwa the first song tulifanya ilikuwa nipeleke na Rieng. So
ilikuwa
Rieng na before Taniua.
And
then people wakapata from hapo hivyo.
And I've seen you talking about Taniua is a movement.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
So later on wasa wakaanza kuichukua. Ilikuwa more than Exray. So and then nikaenda tu place yote hata performance msana sema tusema Taniua peke yake.
Taniua.
Nice. We've seen a lot of personalities or people in the entertainment space copywriting and making sure that their intellectual property is protected. Have you done the same for Taniua?
Yeah.
Nice one.
So 2 years ago.
Mtu hawezi enda kaitumia sasa.
Speaking of,
ama unafaa unyamaze waitumie ndo.
Umwambie Taniua. Alafu Sipangwingwi was also a phrase that you came up with in a song that was actually 2 years ago as well. And there was an election going down. Tell us the backstory of Sipangwingwi.
Sipangwingwi, first people I guess waku understand only then in campaign song later on, but haikuwa campaign song ilitumika later on after ngome me drop. Ilikuwa just a good vibe. After katumika ndio tuka have to jump kwa hiyo base sasa. Juu ilikuwa napiga hesabu manze tulikuwa na another kama 6 months ya campaign. There will be no shows nini yote. So have kukua kwa hiyo kitu yani.
Yeah. And have you found some of your fans maybe criticizing you for using your songs for politics?
At first the song was used by both sides, like the both parties.
Yeah.
And then tulikuwa tumetona bado na hiyo part nyingine bado, but mimi niliangalia pale mo bag inakam.
Wando alikuwa anachota.
Manze. Ilikuwa about negotiation tu.
Yeah.
Walikupatia ngapi?
Sisi sema manze watu watanisalimia manze.
Tense.
Hiyo ilikuwa hizo time.
Diamond amesema tusalimiane mazee.
But ilikuwa dopo. Ilikuwa better than the other side. Yeah.
Okay. Nice one. So now the fact that ulifanya hiyo, did people use that and say you are affiliated to this political group or you are affiliated to this? Walifanya hivyo?
No. Unajua mimi sikuwa campaign anyway kwa platform yangu nini. Later on which niliona ngoma yangu itatumika kwa campaign. Tuka have to do another version ya Kenya atakuwa natumia kwa campaign. So later on tuka record another version.
Okay.
Tukampatia hiyo version yake. The other song remain the same. Yeah, so
the first time uliambiwa ngoma yako inaenda kuremixiwa officially na unaenda kuget bag, right? Na unajua hiyo time ya campaign mazee, there's not going to be shows for a while. Like what language did you use to pray to God? Because there's a lot of songs that were out at the same time, but yours is the one that was selected and you ended up being with the deputy president at that time kwa nyumba yake, muka record verse yake. Which alikuwa naongea mko mnaweza fanya at least baby.
Ilikuwa na tension sijai fika kwa that space ya ilikuwa tension nyingine crazy.
Yeah.
Ilikuwa na tension nyingine crazy which tuli have kupeleka studio huko hivyo. Hiyo time ilikuwa nini kulikuwa na ile keja yake ya Karen. Tukaenda tukarecord hapo hivyo tukapeleka studio. Hakuwa good in recording, alidhani hata ni rahisi nini. And then I have to take some few takes.
Yeah.
After that yani hata mimi siwezi kudanganya sikukuwa na yeye nini nilikuwa na manager wangu
Byron
nilikuwa nafanya not Byron was a producer but I was my manager, so alikuwa hapo in terms of talking and everything.
Speaking of Byron you uliomboleza Byron in such a special way when he passed away, Byron Kivisi, who was your producer. And so much so that even the president at that time, because you guys had recorded Sipangwingwi, the remix, alimuomboleza. How's life been like without your producer?
Break, manzi. We have to take break for like the last song I released ilikuwa like 8 months ago before I released this new one. So ilikuwa crazy juu tulikuwa tumesha build from 2020 which nilikuja kurealize later on when I started my single career ni kama Exray sasa without Boondocks. Realize tulikuwa na issues na producers before. Like producers unafanya na ile track leo, later on after track imehit, when you try to get your producer back tena mfanya ngoma nyingine, so not we Kenya vile kwa say pride in a come of everything. So later on nikaamua kutafuta another producer, the young producer, ni bold to grow na till later on. So ilikuwa a big impact which it have kurudi sasa ku restructure like 2 years back sasa ndio nipate producer mwingine to have kukuwa na hiyo chemistry and all. Yeah.
Wow. We are, it's now 9:30. We're in studio with Exray. And of course, we're talking about his brand new single, Inaitwa Jibambes, featuring a Major. And you've mentioned Boondocks. We're coming back because there's a lot of things we want to unpack, man. I mean, for some of us, tulikuwa fans wa Boondocks, right? And to see that you guys Melinda in different ways, of course, we got a lot of questions. But you also mentioned something about Gengeton is forever. What do you think about Abenton? We're coming back with your response. Kudade the Fancy Fingers Refix. Johnny, Furthermore. Coming through on Kiss FM. 22. You did an interview and you said, look, Gengeton will never die.
Yeah.
We're just taking a break, time ya COVID. And now with the I mean, you never hear Gengeton being mentioned anywhere. Ever.
Yeah.
Do you ever hear anyone saying Gengeton?
No.
Yeah. We're in the Abenton era. So what happened?
Kitu naweza try kushow Kwambox. From 2018 the biggest songs in the country imekuwa Gengeton. Even the Abenton song kenye imekuwa big ni beat ya genge, like see beats za dancehall, like see in beats za genge, from everything from let's say 2018 to right now. The biggest songs happen kukua kwa hii country, like imekuwa genge, anguka nayo nini kudade, from Spangwingwi, ndovu ni kuu, everything kenye imekuwa happen from hata Nyashinski, the biggest song kenye alifanya from before 2018 hapo tu ilikuwa genge.
So just to be clear, Kudade, which has just played, is a Gengeton song.
It's a Gengeton song. It's a Gengeton song.
Because if you ask this artist, they'll tell you they're Abenton.
No, Furthermore is doing genge. Furthermore is doing genge.
Is he aware?
Yeah.
Does he call himself a Gengeton artist?
Gengeton too.
Okay.
So now
even the producer request.
Yeah. So now just to wheel back on the initial question, like where did Abenton come from? We've seen producers who say they own the genre, like Niao.
Yeah.
According to you, so if it's one and the same thing, what next? What next from here? So should we call everything Gengeton? We call everything Abenton? Because
remember, there's a lot of Gengeton artists with the wave of Abenton. Their careers ended. Yeah. Right? Yeah. There's so many, and so now they're being forced to either label themselves Abenton artists or because if you talk to like in the industry, we're radio presenters and we're telling you we cannot tell the difference between this Abenton songs and the Genge. There's so much similarities, right? Nikas kumekuwa na crossovers zime merge, right? And a lot of Gengeton artists having to rebrand themselves as Abenton artists.
So the reason hata walianza kupraise hiyo Abenton simply juu wase wengi wanapata like the ideas of recording free with the producers. So if producer na kurecord maybe free, yatakaa kuambia name the genre na kuambia sai, if nasema Abenton that's it. Wakiza sema kitu kingine different way, like wakisema wanafanya genge, like right now anguka nao artist wanasema wanafanya different thing, like walikuwa wanataka kusema ni genge but simply juu wanataka kuambiwa hapana msiseme hiyo Gengeton. Juu Gengeton kuna others producers who started the thing yani. So
it's an internal
so Abenton artists ukicheki like wana record with the same producer. Like,
okay.
So ni kama record label. Like ni kazi ile za majuu kwa Maybach Music, Money, the same thing too.
Okay. That's important to note.
Okay.
Now of course the big elephant in the room. You were 3 and then you boiled down to 1. Actually you were 1 and then you were 3 and then 1.
Then 1. Yeah.
Why did you guys break up?
Ilikuwa time ya grow up manzi. Tulikuwa tunataka ku have another stage of life, doing another thing cause tulikuwa napata collaboration if tuna have kutoa msari moja kwa group. Like let's take kama Ushirati tuko na Ndovu and Major. If ningekuwa Boondocks that could not work. Ninge have maybe kutoa whether Odi ama Maddox.
So
in the
it's-
collabo.
hii kitu tu ni structure.
Structure tu.
So, because it's so interesting. I was listening to a documentary where they were talking about the death of bands, like bands. Hakuna bands, right? So, if you check from like 1900s coming down all this way, the amount of number ones from a group has really significantly reduced. And back in the day, everybody was a band. Everybody was a group. Sauti Sol as well headed in different directions. And right now, I think one of the big conversations is that right, how you split money when the gig maze sasa lazima msplit do zako 3-way. Are these some of the things that affected you guys?
Unajua group ni disadvantage sana juu hata uwezi kuwa booked like in a foreign like international events juu simply mtu anapiga hesabu manze. If I have to book you 3, I have to pay for the flights. I have to book you guys visas juu nini vitu hizo zote. So hizo vitu zote which ata have to choose, ataangalia kuna other artists Kenya anaweza chukua instead of kuchukua group. Maybe anaweza chukua Zero, maybe anaweza chukua Saru. So hiyo ndio ilikuwa disadvantage. Tulikuwa napata show mingi singes but tunaweza pick to one artist out of you 3.
While you were a group, did you have the same vision? Like, did you get to actually work towards a particular goal mulijoyani? Mtafanya, as in, rollout itakuwa hivi na after right now mko hapa, in a couple of years you're going to be somewhere else. The reason why I'm also asking you that is niliona ODL alikuwa anataka kuwa governor. Sijui hiyo ilitoka wapi. So did you guys have the same vision when you were together?
Tulikuwa nafikiria itatusaidia in terms of collaboration juu hakuna juu group ni kind of like a collaborative song. So tunafanya kila time collabos but at the end of the day tulikuwa nafikiria hii stuff tukitaifanya for that long tunaenda wapi juu mimi niliangalia the biggest artist in the world like right now unaweza sema ni single artist always sema like a group maybe even the other group hizo bands na groups maybe wangekuwa big in terms of like kama maybe angekuwa one artist like same ile kama ile group like Fit Harmony, you remember Camila Cabello and the other group Kenya wali separate One Direction. So kuna disadvantage ya kuwa group ni more yani.
Wow. Disadvantage. And speaking of, you've done a lot of collabos. Like I went combed through and I was like, man, this guy does collabos. Is there a song Paliwoko solo?
Yeah. Wow, taskumbuke.
Exactly. What's your time ukumbuke? I want to shout out Gianni who's coming through and he says he knows the difference between Abanton and Gengeton. I'm coming back to read to you what he says, but it has everything to do with bodies. Can you guess which one has the bodies? Here's Chyla coming through with Travis Scott, Water, the remix. Man's like Exray, and we're talking about Gengeton versus Abanton. And now we're finding out that according to him, Ikitu need the same thing. Need the same thing. What? A shout out to Peter the Lion who's coming through on a sema. No, actually, before Peter the Lion, Gianni alikuwa amesema he knows the difference. Amesema Abanton na Gengeton. Abanton iko na mabadies. Alafu Gengeton iko na ...
Wait, what?
Peter akina Ajib wako kwa video ya Gengeton, ya Abanton.
Oh, anasema music video.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Mimi sijui kani music videos.
Yeah, I think anasema ati mabadis wanapenda Abanton.
Oh, wanapenda Abanton. Aha. Lakini Gengeton the first time ilitoka, man, unaona video maziko somewhere inoyole kuna madema nikawa alikuwa naosha nguo kidogo hapo kwa lines tu kwa estate kwa digida. Shout out to Peter the Lion anasema Gengeton is the baddest. It has one of the best, Reckless, who dominates in songs. Trust me, if Ethic was back, it would be lit. Still other Gengeton are baddies, but Ethic were them.
Okay.
Damn. All right. Back in the day, I kind of miss Ethic. The same way we miss Boondocks. Maddox alisema, so you said that part of the reason why Maddox wasn't, why you guys are not a group was that Maddox didn't show up for gigs.
Alikuwa na do ina change kila kitu. Unajua if you nilinotice msee akiwa in a hungry position, ukiwa hungry more kama una do mtu anakoga focus na kila kitu. The moment umepata do, that's where the thing ina change. Unaanza ku afford vitu kenye uko na afford probably.
Wow. And he actually responded to what you said.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he was incoherent.
Yeah.
Is Maddox okay?
Ako fiti. wacha kuambia the problem the reason nilisema story ya do unajua if ulikuwa na food same example let's say ulikuwa na food jaba and then later on ukaintroduce kwa vitu kenye awezi afford maybe like maybe they had drugs so no, that's the way the problem come.
Wow. We're coming back to play this brand new single from Exray inaitwa Jibambes because you know we got to end on a high. I mean on a
You can't say that.
You can't say high after that
yeah,
to Roman.
you can't.
Immerse yourself in the beauty and glamour of